good shot. Oh my!
Here to celebrate Georgetown! The Georgetown Raiders are Buckland Cup champions!
The Trenton Golden Hawks, the R.W. Hewitt Cup champions, are going to Coburn.
Back to Minerva. Shot scores! And the Coburn Cougars are the Royal Bank Cup champions!
Hockey fans around 16 Mile Creek have waited 9 years to hear it. Your Oakville Blades, OJHL Buckland Cup champions.
And we are back again for another season, bringing you all the big hits, the huge stops, and of course, the sweet goals. This is the OJ Today. Welcome, everyone. I'm Alex Bastiavansky, back for our 5th year now of the show, if you can believe it. Time has just flown by, and it seems like just yesterday that the Buckland Cup was being hoisted up by the Oakville Blades last April. Since it's our first show of the new season, let's take a peek back at how last year ended up and all the excitement to come over the next few months.
Gains the red line, gains the blue line, and Kirsten trying to sift his way through, scores!
Hockey fans around 16 Mile Creek have waited 9 years to hear it. Your Oakville Blades, OJHL Buckland Cup champions.
The 2018-19 OJHL season was memorable for many reasons, but what will likely stick out first and foremost for fans was the play of the Oakville Blades. Mike Tarantino's squad was, in a word, dominant. Oakville won the OJ's regular season title and then crushed the opposition in the playoffs, losing just 3 games en route to the Buckland Cup title. The Blades would ultimately advance all the way to the semifinals at the National Junior A Championships in Brooks, Alberta, before bowing out.
Yeah, Oakville had one of those special teams, I think, from the ownership to the coaching staff to the management all the way up and down the lineup. And they had a heck of a run. They're, I think, one of the best teams we've sent to the national championships. They did us proud. And the team, I believe, got 14, 15 different commitments from it. And that's what's more important to us, is that we get the commitments for the kids moving forward and success with the team second. So we're extremely proud of the organization.
The 2019-20 season kicked off in early September, and the first big event of the year took place in Buffalo with the Governor's Showcase late in the month. For 3 days, it was a chance for all 22 OJHL teams to play in one location. And once again, the scouts flocked to the event.
Yeah, now's the 5th year we've been here, and it seems each year the Harbor Center staff and the Buffalo Junior Sabre staff do an outstanding job, and they outdo themselves. Again, I think we're close to 300 scouts that have come through the building. Yeah, I think almost every NHL team has been represented here throughout the weekend. I forget the exact number of NCAA schools that are here. We'll see some of the big schools that are coming out once again. A lot of youth sports this year as well. We've done a lot to try to work our relationship with youth sports through the leadership of Graham Brown there. So it's interesting to see every level of the games coming out to watch our kids.
You know, to have the opportunity to come down to Buffalo, you know, this amazing facility, and be able to take part in the showcase, you know, scouts everywhere, no matter what league, D3, NHL, you know, it's definitely a great opportunity for every player to kind of showcase their game to anybody, and be in a facility like this is unbelievable.
And one of the other programs that we run here during the showcase with some of the teams, and then we go in at their facilities, is the OJHL Foundation's First Assist program. And it's about mental wellness, you know, talking to our players on how mentally they need to be strong. And there's a workbook they go through. It's a 2-hour seminar, and we know that it's beneficial because we've got feedback from parents and players that the support they've received from the program. So we're really excited that every one of our players in our league goes through that program every year.
The new season sees 2 teams relocating to different cities, and the response thus far has been encouraging, to say the least.
The Kingston franchise moved to Collingwood, and as well as the Newmarket franchise who moved to Milton. It's been a great response to these teams and their new locations, and the fans have really come out to support them in droves, and we see that continuing for the rest of the year.
Building on last season's successful partnership with CHCH Television, the league has expanded its coverage.
Yeah, the CHCH Game of the Week is something that strategically we knew would be beneficial to our players, and this year we've expanded it. Our governors have agreed to expand the games to 9. We're going to kick it off in Oakville with our All-Star Game, and we hope the viewership on Saturday afternoons at 3 o'clock, people tune into it because it's exciting hockey and our players really get up for it when they're on TV and they see the cameras, and it showcases our greatest asset, which is our players. We're really excited about this season. I think it's going to be one of the best in a while. We've got tremendous amount of young talent coming through the league. We've got the All-Star Celebration weekend going on that we've never done before. We have the 9 CHCH games that we're promoting as well. We've got the 2 new franchises. So it's going to be a real fun and exciting season for the OJHL, our fans, and our players.
The 60-second spotlight is brought to you by College Hockey Inc., official partner of the Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Ethan Doyle, forward with the Fury.
Crossers, chance, Doyle scores! Ethan Doyle goes roof daddy on the lava.
What I bring to the ice is hard work every shift, you know, a little bit of leadership too, and I got a bit of touch offensively too. I can score, I can put up some points too. Wearing the A means to me just being a leader, you know, every shift on the ice, not just vocal leader, but also lead with your play and just set an example for all the younger guys and really everybody on the team. So it's an honor to wear an A, and I take pride in wearing it. When I think about this team, I think of a hard-working young group, a couple veteran leaders on the team, a lot of skill, a lot of potential, and once we get things clicking, we'll be a dangerous team in this league. So I'm really excited for this season.
Doyle moving in, shooting, scores! Ethan Doyle.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the OJ Today. You know, the most consistent team in the OJHL over the past 2 seasons has undoubtedly been the Wellington Dukes. And the boys from Prince Edward County were Buckland Cup champs 2 years ago and then made it all the way back to the final last spring before bowing out to the Oakville Blades. But the Dukes have picked up right where they left off, once again challenging for supremacy in the ultra-competitive East Division. Sunday saw them hosting bitter rivals Trenton at the Duke Dome. OJ Highlights now brought to you by BioSteel. BioSteel, the official sports nutrition products of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. These 2 teams have separated themselves from the rest of the pack at the top of the East standings, and it was all Trenton at first. Hawks on the PP, Sam Duchesne, seeing eye point shot, beats Matthew Keeley, and it's 1-0 for the visitors. 3 minutes later, they strike again. This time it's Colin Vanderherk with the point shot. He tattoos that one. G-Hawks go up by a 2 spot, and they weren't done. 2-on-1. Dalton Bancroft uses Julian Jacob as a decoy. Roof Daddy past Keeley. Trenton in the driver's seat up 3-0. Cue the comeback though. Follow the bouncing puck. Ben Woodhouse pokes it home, and he makes it 3-1. Third period, Quinn Hanna gets sprung on the breakaway. He goes top shelf past Anand Oberoi. Dukes down by just 1 now. Dying seconds of the third. Hanna on the wrist. Gorgeous shot that finds daylight, sending this one off to overtime, where it's Mr. Woodhouse playing hero for the home squad. Does it all himself off the draw. Beautiful. What an effort, and that is a character win by Wellington as they storm all the way back from a 3-0 deficit to take down their bitter rivals. These 2 look like they'll be jockeying for first place out west all season long. Oakville hosting Burlington, first stanza. Blades with the man advantage. Ryan O'Hara, booyah, shelves it past Max Wright to make it 1-0 for the Blades. The Cats hit back though. Aiden Timmermans with a bit of a softie past Will Barber to knot it up at 1 apiece. 4 minutes later, Harrison caught him with the sweet one-timer. The twine bulges. Cougars up 2-1. The teams traded goals in the second. We skip to the third. Burlington leading by 1. Just as the Cougars' power play expires, Brendan Rylott seals the deal with the wicked wrister, and Burlington takes down the defending champs by a 5-2 count. Back out east, we had Coburg hosting Wellington. The visitors draw first blood. Nice passing. Jacob Breckles squeezing it past Dershan Stewart. 1-0 for the Dukes of Wellington. Second frame, Cougars would get it back, though. Mad scramble in front of the net. Finally, it's Jason Stachel back depositing. And even Steven heading into the third. Midway through, check out the beauty by Dawson Ellis. This is dirty stuff over the shoulder of Stewart, and the Dukes take down their bitter rivals as they hold on to top the Cougars by a 2-1 count. Well, it was the end of an era in Kingston last spring as the Voyageurs left town after 45 seasons of play in the Limestone City. But the franchise continues on. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, they've been reborn to great fanfare in Collingwood as the Colts. The town has embraced the team, and Eddie Bush Memorial Arena has been jammed for home games. On Sunday, it was Aurora in town to take on the Herd. Collingwood, another team that pulled off a huge comeback last week. Case in point, third frame, trailing 5-3, Will Reddick going 5-hole on Andrew Burwinski, and the Colts cut their deficit to a single goal. 5 minutes later, Nathan Naves, side of the net, in it goes, and it's 5-4. Tigers. Aurora led 4-0 at one point, incidentally. Late in the period, Colts desperate for the equalizer, and they get it. Andrew Siriath, captain, my captain, ribs it past Burwinski to send it to overtime. And in OT, it's Siriath making it happen, shredding the defeating Adrian Neighbors. What a comeback by Collingwood. Down for most of the game. The Herd storm back to seal the deal and steal the points. They pick up their second home win in franchise history, winning 6-5. This result, though, mightn't have been the most surprising of the weekend. Mississauga in Toronto. JRCs have looked really strong early in the season, but Chargers out on top early with that goal, and then
Just past the stick of Spencer, and here's Pecchia on a shorthanded breakaway for the Chargers. Pecchia stomps up and scores. Oh my, what a play.
Yeah, what a play, all right. Missy up 2-0. Second frame now, one of the weirdest goals of the year so far. Taylor Barnett up and over the keeper. As long as it goes in, 3-0. Final frame now. JRCs at least break the goose egg on the power play. Matthew Redding, he makes it 3-1, but the Chargers just kept on coming. Chase Stracheluk beats the keeper, and they would go on to add an empty netter as well to complete the rout. Hands up if you saw this coming. Mississauga puts a hurting on the JRCs, downing them by a 5-1 count. Okay, OJ Commitments brought to you by Cliff Bar. Cliff Bar, the official energy bar of the OJHL. And Anand Oberoi, the standout keeper for the Trenton Golden Hawks, has made his decision for next year, and he's going to be in Ottawa. GG, and Ottawa is getting a good one here. Last season he had a 15-4 record, 2.07 goals against average, and sparkling .930 save percentage, and he previously spent time with the Erie Otters of the OHL as well. This week's alumni update brought to you by Warrior Hockey. Warrior, the official hard goods supplier to the OJHL, and Charlie Di Fonseca signed as a free agent with the Drummondville Voltigeurs after last season, and what a start he's had this year. Charlie's racked up 4 points in his first 4 games in the queue, and he currently sits tied for second in team scoring. Charlie played as an AP with the Spirit 2 seasons ago. Last year racked up 32 points in 44 games as a rookie. Congrats, Charlie, on your fantastic start. This segment of the OJ Today is brought to you by Troy Hockey. Troy, the official apparel provider to the OJHL. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today, and joining me after what was a busy summer of league business, no doubt, is the commissioner himself, OJHL Commissioner Marty Savoie. Marty, how are things? How was the summer, buddy?
It was fast, Alex, and busy as usual, but we're back at it for another exciting season here.
Yeah, season well underway now. We've just completed the first month roughly. Tons to cover today. Let's start with a quick look back at last year, where Oakville wins the Buckland Cup, makes it all the way to the national semifinals. Just give us your thoughts on the incredible season that was.
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing season. You know, whenever you get a chance to have a team qualify for the national championships and represent us the way the Oakville Blades did, it was outstanding. You know, it was a strong Dudley Hewitt Cup. nationals there out in Brooks and did outstanding. They started a little slow, but you know, you get to spend a lot of time around the teams and around the staff, and the staff really came together, and the boys came together, and they played hard, and they were, you know, balanced their way for moving forward. If they make the national finals, you never know what can happen there. So they represented us well, and they represented all 22 teams really well. When we move forward, we want to make sure teams that can compete at that national championship, and I think that's exactly what Mike Tarantino and his staff did last year for us.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the best teams we've seen for some time. They were just a top to bottom a great team. Eric Ciccolini, drafted by the New York Rangers after a fantastic season for the Toronto Junior Canadiens. He's off to the University of Michigan this year, but again, numerous OJ alumni drafted, including the #1 overall pick, Jack Hughes, who suited up for Georgetown 3 seasons ago. A big statement for the league having the #1 overall pick.
Yeah, we always say there's a different path you can go through why we call ourselves the league of choice, and Jack went through as an AP player, very similar to the path that Mitch Marner went through with St. Michael's a number of years ago when he went and played playoffs with Georgetown and played in high-pressure games. And those are the types of players, when you watch them play, you kind of know they're destined for greatness. Eric Ciccolini, outstanding career in the OJHL, comes from a great family. He's a great kid, won the BJ Monroe Award from the OHA as well, and I think he's going to have a bright future ahead of himself as well. And it's just great whenever we can advance the kids on. We know their ultimate dreams are to play in the National Hockey League, get drafted, and whatever role we can play, whether it's with an AP or a player going to the NCAA or to the CHL or U Sports, we just play a little bit of a role in the development to get them through and exciting to succeed.
On to this season now. The Governors Showcase is the first big event of the year. Recently took place in Buffalo, and once again, a huge success with every team in the OJHL playing in the same location. It's much easier for scouts to congregate there, isn't it? And they were out in full force for the showcase.
Yeah, it's the one that's the kickoff of the season for us. It's a lot of work that we put into it here. The Harbor Center staff for the Buffalo Junior Sabres. I'm not sure if people realize the amount of work that they put in behind the scenes for us as well. And it's to showcase our greatest asset with us, our players. I think there was over 250 scouts in attendance. Almost every NHL team, a lot of D1 schools, a lot of U Sports schools, CHL, we're all there. It's the opportunity for them to get the gauge of where our players are. I know going down to the rooms afterwards, there was tons of scouts pulling players out to talk to them and, you know, get a sense of where they're at. And it's the same thing for the players to kind of feel the other teams out. And the great thing for us is you get to watch every team twice and kind of see where everybody fits in. So it was a tremendous event, the 5th year we've been down in Buffalo, and we're looking to continue to do that with the Harbor Center. And it's just such great partners with their staff and the Buffalo Junior Sabres as well.
2 new teams in the OJ this season, the Milton Menace, the Collingwood Colts, and the response these squads have gotten so far in their new surroundings has really been absolutely tremendous so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. You know, those are 2 markets we've gone back into. We did a lot of work before agreeing to allow those clubs to relocate into the markets, and it was key because both the ownership groups are a little bit different. One, and Jason Trifon grew up in the Milton area, and he came to us very passionate about he can make Milton junior hockey work. We believed in him, and I think the results see what the Milton Menace are doing in that community. We talk to people within the community, and already under a short amount of time, there's minor hockey players wearing the Menace apparel, and they believe it's their team, so they've done an outstanding job there. And then David Steele up in Collingwood, right out of the gate, I was at both home openers in Collingwood, had over 1,300 people in the building. Their attendance still seems to be up high every game after game. And again, both of those teams are getting inside their communities. They have their team, their players are in community events, they're in community engagement. They're talking to minor hockey, they're working with their towns, and I think it's a great template that we'll be able to share with other teams within the OJHL, the success that those guys have had off the.
We got just about over a minute, Marty. Last season, a partnership was born between the OJHL and, of course, CHCH Television. And this year, it's just been further expanded. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a pretty big initiative that our Board of Governors supported and bought into. We went to them of how we want to expand our brand and try to get it out there on terrestrial television. And CHCH has been fantastic with us, trying to get our games promoted. We're really excited through the expansion of the games to 9 games this year. We're going to be launching it all with our All-Star Celebration Day that's going to be taking place in Oakville November 30th, where You're going to see our best of our best go and play against each other and to kick off the 9-game series. And it's an opportunity for our kids to be exposed to that type of an event. And it's great when you walk inside the rink and you see the cameras up and the players getting interviewed. It's something that a lot of our players, when they move on, they're going to have to get used to doing. It's just a great promotional tool for the players. They get excited. Parents can watch it. So as well, 3 o'clock on Saturdays, wherever you are, tune in, because it's exciting hockey. And it seems every year that those games just happen to be big games because the players get up a little bit more when they see the cameras there. So just a great promotional tool, and we're lucky to have partners like CHCH behind us.
Coast to Coast on CHCH television. We'll be talking about a lot more as the season goes on, of course, and we're going to have you on, obviously, Mr. Commissioner Savoy, as we go throughout the season. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'll see you out there at the rink. Let's just take a quick look now at the schedule. As mentioned, it kicks off November 30th with the OJHL All-Star Game. Some tasty matchups throughout the year. Mississauga and Whitby, Georgetown and Oakville, the Battle of Halton Region, Patriots and Wellington, St. Mike's Cobourg, Pickering, Brantford, Markham, Trenton, Milton, Brampton, and Stouffville and Collingwood. Eddie Bush Arena should be packed for that matchup. This segment of the OJ Today is brought to you by Scotiabank. Scotiabank, the official bank of the OJHL. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today. Another franchise that switched addresses after last season was the Newmarket Hurricanes. Now, the Canes moved roughly 90 kilometers southwest and are now the Milton Menace, sporting one of the coolest logos in all of junior hockey. The boys in black have been a huge hit so far in their new surroundings. The Menace hit the road last Saturday as they headed south to take on the Mississauga Chargers. And Mississauga's looked impressive early on this season, and they draw first blood against the Menace. On the power play, Luca Tellis, too much time and space, rips it home. Chargers go up 1-0. Second period, Milton would hit back though. Also with the man advantage, Dante Jones parks himself out front, and it pays off. Slides it past Jack Irvine to even it up at 1 apiece. Back comes Missy though on the power play. Matthew Sopp out front. Tippy past Forbes Anderson. Chargers back on top, 2-1. Milton responds though, and it's Jones again. Watch for the one-timer coming up right here, and bam, Dante's Inferno. He was hot all right. Second of the game, and knocks it up at 2 apiece. And then it's Aiden Hughes getting sneaky. Catches Irvine cheating off the post. Oops. Banks it in off the keeper. Milton takes its first lead, up 3-2. We pick it up in the third. Mississauga actually leading now 4-3 when Hughes comes up big again. Ties it up late to send this one off to overtime, where it's Holden Rogers to the rescue, going for a skate, ripping the twine past Irvine. That is clutch stuff. And this Milton team is one of the youngest in the OJHL, but keep an eye on them, folks, because they could surprise quite a few squads this year. Big win. Okay, I'm telling you, comebacks were the theme of the week. Case in point, St. Mike's and Brampton. We pick it up in the third. This is a funny one. Deacon Holmes wraps it off the glass, takes an awful bounce, if you're St. Mike's anyway, ends up in the back of the net. Ouch. That puts Brampton up 5-3. Now, with just under 5 minutes remaining, St. Mike's gets things going. Thomas Sinclair out front, wraps it past Travis Smith to cut the deficit to 1. Final minute of play now. Ryan Alexander playing the bank shot from behind the net, off Smith and in, double blue, tying it up 5-5, and then with just 14 seconds left, Alexander, what a shot, and what a comeback by St. Mike's. They erase a 5-3 deficit, scoring twice in the last minute of play to snatch the victory away from the Admirals. Okay, one more for you. Lindsay visiting Milton last weekend. This was a good one. First period, Sam Bourdage to Jordan Stock, and the howitzer will find daylight. Milton up by a 1-0 count. No scoring in the second, so we skip ahead to the third. The Menace can't clear the zone. The Muskies pounce. Matt King will wrap it home, and the Fish tie it up at 1 apiece. 5.5 later, though, Milton on the power play, and nice puck movement. McKay Hayes out front, and he will go Roof Daddy, what a shot. Top shelf, and the Menace back on top, leading 2-1. Lindsay never says die, though. With the man advantage, Matthew Hebert. The point shot, and in it goes. And that sends this one off to overtime, and there were actually a ton of great chances in the extra frames. First, Logan Maunders. He steals and waltzes in, but Forbes Anderson standing tall, equal to the task, and it was still tied. Back the other way they went. Dean Buckles doing his part to keep the Muskies in it. Nice stops. One of 43 he made on the day, actually. And then dying seconds of the second overtime, Matt King off to the races, but Mr. Anderson says, I don't think so. Huge stop to preserve the tie for Milton as the Menace and Muskie skate to the 2-2 stalemate. OJ Standings brought to you by Jostens, the official ring and awards provider to the OJHL. As we take a look at the West now, Burlington on top, barely over Oakville by 2 points, followed by Georgetown, Brantford, Milton, and Buffalo. To the north, Markham, Collingwood tied with Stouffville, actually, 10 points apiece, followed by Pickering and Aurora. We move south, the Pats, but a breathing room over Brampton right now, and Mississauga, followed by the JRC, St. Mike's, and North York. And out east, Wellington and Trenton have got some separation between themselves and the rest of the pack, followed by Whitby, Cobourg, and the Lindsay Muskies. Top 5 brought to you by Chaos. Chaos, the official hat provider to the OJHL. And number 5, Dawson Ellis of Wellington with the game winner against Cobourg. Takes the feed and goes shelf behind Dershant Stewart. Very nice. Number 4, St. Mike's versus Brampton. Dying seconds, Ryan Alexander completes the big comeback by supplying the huge goal for the St. Mike's Buzzers. Number 3, Milton and Missy in overtime. Holden Rogers going for a skate, and then he finds daylight over the shoulder of Jack Irvine for the winner. Mateo Pescia of the Chargers has number 2. Turns on the Jets, outraces 2 JRCs, provides the sweet finish for the beauty goal. And number 1, Collingwood versus Aurora in overtime. Andrew Sirius shredding the Tigers and then feeding Adrian Neighbors for the winner. Gorgeous setup and finish. And that right there is our Chaos Play of the Week. And that's all the time we've got for today. Just remember, though, we'll be back next week and every week throughout the season. To keep up to date with the league, you can always head to ojhl.ca. And of course, all of your social media options are right there for you to check out as well. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week.